Karoline Leavitt, a rising conservative voice known for her bold criticism of mainstream media, had been invited to join the conversation. For her, this appearance was more than just a guest spot. It was a chance to confront narratives she believes have been tightly controlled by a left-leaning media landscape. For Whoopi, however, it seemed like just another day behind the table, guiding the discussion where she wanted it to go. No one in the studio could have predicted how the episode would end, with Whoopi Goldberg losing not only control of the hour conversation but also her composure, and it all played out live on television. As the cameras began rolling, the studio energy subtly shifted. Karoline sat across from Whoopi, calm in her posture, composed in demeanor, but alert, ready for whatever direction the discussion might take. The episode kicked off with a hot-button issue: media bias and the alleged suppression of conservative viewpoints. Whoopi opened in her usual commanding tone. "We bring guests on this show to hear different points of view," she said. "But let's be real. Many of these so-called attacks on the media are just ways to avoid accountability." Karoline responded gently but with clear intent. "I completely agree accountability is essential," she said. "That's exactly why media organizations should also be held responsible when they twist facts, silence dissenting voices, and push selective narratives." A mix of applause and murmurs swept through the audience. Whoopi's eyes narrowed slightly. As the conversation deepened, her irritation became more visible. Each time Karoline raised a point, Whoopi interjected, sometimes dismissively, sometimes with a deflective laugh. "Come on, Karoline," Whoopi said mockingly. "As if conservatives don't have massive platforms, Fox News, talk radio, podcasts. There's no shortage of space for your voices." Karoline leaned forward just slightly. "That's interesting because just last week, a major social media platform shadow banned an independent journalist for reporting a story that contradicted the mainstream narrative. If conservative voices have such dominance, why are they constantly being silenced?" The audience gasped, some clapping in agreement. Whoopi's tone sharpened. "See, this is the problem," she snapped. "People would rather play the victim than have real dialogue." Karoline didn't flinch. "I'm absolutely here for real dialogue, Whoopi," she countered. "But that's difficult when I'm repeatedly cut off every time I try to share a valid point." The atmosphere in the studio thickened, with tension. The familiar rhythm of the show was unraveling. For a host used to steering conversations and shutting down pushback, Whoopi had finally encountered a guest unwilling to back down. Growing visibly frustrated, Whoopi rolled her eyes and chuckled sarcastically. "Okay, I think we've heard enough. Let's move on." But Karoline wasn't done. "You're doing it again," she said firmly. "You don't like the direction this is heading, so instead of responding to the arguments, you're trying to shut me down." The audience stirred. Some held their breath. Others voiced their support. Whoopi's expression shifted. This was no longer a controlled debate, and then came the moment no one expected. Throwing up her hands, Whoopi declared, "You know what? I don't have to sit here and listen to this." She stood abruptly, microphone still attached, and stormed off the set. Studio fell into stunned silence. Co-hosts appeared visibly shaken. The camera pulled back, capturing Whoopi as she vanished backstage. Meanwhile, Karoline remained composed, poised and unfazed. Within minutes, the explosive clip was circulating across social media. The hashtag began trending, igniting debates across platforms. Supporters hailed Karoline's composure and resilience. Detractors tried to spin the moment as a tense debate rather than what had clearly unfolded. Regardless of where viewers stood, politically, one thing was clear. Karoline Leavitt had made her mark on national television. And Whoopi? She had walked off her own show. This wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a symbolic shift in the tone of political discourse. A wake-up call to those who believe dissenting opinions can still be silenced without consequence.